everyone. Welcome to my backyard garden tour. So this backyard garden is majority of it is pretty new. So this section, except for this section, which I've had for a few years, all this what you see to the side and what you're going to see soon is pretty new. We actually made the beds this spring, and I had done a video, I think in like mid-spring around April 29th, I think, showing you the freshly made bed and the plants and the bulbs that I planted around at that time. So we are now in mid July, so 2.5 months, lots of changes, lots of blooms. So let's begin the tour. At first, out here we have a Queen Elizabeth rose. It gave me a whole lot of blooms in spring, and then it got hit by the rose softfly, which did a lot of damage to the leaves. See, you can see the leaves, see that, and the buds. And also we have Japanese beetles now. This is like peak season for Japanese beetles in Virginia, so they also are like feasting on this. And hopefully I do see new growth and new buds, so hopefully the beetles are like done for the season. Down below I have a mini tea rose, the grocery store ones. This is a beautiful red, and I was not sure whether we could plant it in outside, and I kept it with me for like 2 years, brought it inside for the winter, but it looks good now. I planted it last year and it came back, but again, as you can see, the leaves, this one also was pretty hit pretty bad by the rose fly. Down here I have 2 daylilies that I divided from the front and transplanted over here. This is a carnation. It has a bud that I winter sowed, and I have gladioli here, a couple of sunflower seedlings on there. So let me show you the bud on the gladioli. This is a yellow, and I have a very nice fuchsia here. See that? That's a very, very pretty color. So next to the gladioli, this is a Penstemon. Again, it's a very pinkish fuchsia, like purplish color. I seem to have a lot of that color recently. I mean, actually this year in this bed. So the Penstemon, again, I've had it for a few years. I divided it in spring, actually late spring. I should have done it earlier, but the parent plant took a big hit. The division seems to be doing okay. So as you can see, this whole clump was Penstemon, and a lot of it dried on me over there. I have a few globe amaranth, more gladioli. This is a Scotch broom. It had beautiful flowers. I couldn't even see the leaves in spring. Now it's done flowering, and I like this wispy, feathery kind of leaves. The way it's pretty windy here. We're expecting rain, so you can see it looks pretty. This is more gladioli. I see some buds in here. Again, can you see there are some buds? There. And there's another Penstemon clump in there. I divided this one too, but again, not doing that great. Cosmosis, that's my neighbor's crepe myrtle, coming across the fence, through the fence actually. The roots come from below and spread like crazy. I'm not a big fan of it, but this is the balsam. It's a weed, I tell you. A friend gave one seedling to me a couple of years ago. Now it's like self seeds everywhere. See that? All of those are balsam seedlings. This is a red hot poker. It's a yellow flower. Again, this one too, I divided this in late spring. The parent, look, not doing great. Divisions also actually not doing that great. It's not like the Penstemon. It's coming up. I do see flowers, but they're like really small when compared to what they usually are. I'll show you. I think I have some blooming down there. So this is the red hot poker that I'm talking about. This is a coneflower that I winter sowed. So I learned about winter sowing pretty late in the season, actually in February, and I still went ahead and planted some seeds, and this came from that. That's why it's still small. Hopefully it will pick up before the season ends. That is a columbine that's kind of drying up because it's hot. They are more of a cool season plant, and I think it's a fire lantern columbine. It's hanging in there. More balsam seedlings. This is a salvia that I divided from the front again. More globe amaranth. I have a couple of cosmos seedlings out here. This is a butterfly bush again that I winter sowed. I told you, like, I did it pretty late in the season, that's why it's pretty small. Sunflowers along the fence, and whoa, I forgot to show you something. This is my fig, my brown turkey fig. So I planted this in fall last year, and it took forever to come back. I almost thought it was dead, because all I would see is this old wood. That's kind of, I think it's pretty dry, but anyway, it came back, and I'm super happy that it came back. Hopefully, it was kind of slow in the season, I think, because we had not mulched the bed, but once we mulched it, it's picking up pretty fast. So hopefully we'll have good growth for this year. So next year, maybe beetle fruit, I don't know. It fruits on old wood, and I think new wood too. More cosmos seedlings, and I have actually sunflowers. There's a new flower all along the fence, so that's the flower. And here I have a hardy hibiscus. Oh, I thought this one would be in bloom today. Actually, I had a bloom yesterday. These are pretty big. I actually measured this. It was 6 inches in diameter. So but there are lots of buds, and the leaves have been again eaten like crazy by the beetles. But this is a hardy hibiscus, so it'll come back every year. I have a few cosmoses here that are blooming. More sunflowers all the way. Sunflowers along the fence. A couple of cosmoses, actually not a couple, like quite a bit, but a couple of blooms. And then this is a balsam. Out here, this is an aster. It's a purple aster that I had in a planter in the front, and I transplanted it over here when we got the bed made. This is a Gora, the pink one. I got it on clearance, I think, for $1 at Walmart. The plant was in a bad shape, but I think it's picking up now. Zinnias. It's a very pretty, like bright neon pink color. And I have some red heart pockers that I divided here. Balsam, more zinnias, and this is an aster. So this is a white aster that a friend divided hers and gave it to me. And if you look closely, can you see the leaves? Trust me, it's not a disease or anything. There's a story behind it. So when we had built the fence, we had not bunny proofed it in spring, and the bunnies would have a heyday here. And this plant especially, I think, was their favorite. So whenever a sprout would come in, they would come and raise it down to the earth. And I was having such a hard time, with this with the bunnies. So someone suggested using Irish Spring soap shavings, which I did, but I think I might have used quite a bit more than what was recommended. So all the new leaves that were coming up after the whole the Irish Spring application was like this. It had these spots, but the new ones don't seem to have that many spots. Hopefully, the effect was kind of minimized. More zinnias out here. Zinnias. As you can see, there's a marigold. I don't know what color that is. This is an Indian holy basil, tulsi, and my water garden. Can you see 2 lilies out here? Do a close up, and that is a canna. See that? That's a very pretty flower. Okay, so I've had this water lily for a few years now. This year, after I've overwintered them and I took it out in spring, I divided the plant into 2, and I have 2 water gardens now, and that one also has a bloom. Look at that. This is my first time of having so many blooms at the same time. And that is an iris in here. This is a tomato. So it's a funny story with this. This year, like once we made the beds, the landscaper came and added some compost, and I got like about 20 tomato seedlings from the compost, and I was like offering it to friends, which nobody wanted because they all had tomatoes already. So I didn't know what to do, so I just put a few of them here. I mean, actually in the bed too there are some, and then I put a couple in the pot. Again, this setup is very temporary. I hope to have like a bench or something here, but this year, I just wanted to, we had planted the garden, so wanted to see how it goes. So one more shot of my water lily. There. 2 of them here and 1 here. It's actually very cloudy today. We're expecting rain, so the sun is not out. And I'm thinking, that's why these have not opened up fully. I have dahlias here. Look at these beauties. So many buds on them. Actually, this is my first year with dahlias. I thought they were like a pain to grow, but a friend who's like really crazy about dahlias would post pictures every day of her beautiful flowers, and I'm like, okay. She made me a convert. So these are like Costco bulbs. Um, Only actually three plants have started blooming for me. Hopefully the others will bloom soon too. I don't know, two took off like really well. So, but it's a very pretty color. Like I like the flowers. More dahlias here. I had three hydrangeas here. These are the endless hydrangeas, endless summer. So I've had them for a few years now, and they were in a different area in the backyard. I transplanted them to here, in anticipation of making this bed. I transplanted last fall, and this year when they came back, they took a big hit. I don't know, maybe because of the transplant, but all the old growth kind of died on me. If you can see closely, the old sticks sticking out. I mean, which never happens for me. Like it comes back vigorously every year. So whatever growth you see here is new growth, and this spots on here is mostly sunburn because again I had not mulched this bed, and we had like very hot temperatures, and these took a hit. So I mean, but I'm hydrangeas are usually very healthy plants, and they come back 10 times stronger than the previous season, at least for me. That was my experience, so I'm hoping next year they'll pick up from that transplant shock. All the way in the back is a hollyhock. Can you see over there? So that I think I winter sowed, and there is a small baptisia seedling out there. Like I said, I winter sowed pretty late in the season, so seedlings are small. Hopefully they'll pick up and show some more growth and come back next year. This is a black-eyed Susan wine. Let me see if I can see a bloom out here on the trellis. There you go, that's a bloom. See this hydrangea? This is what I was talking about. This one took a really bad hit. I have more hollyhocks in the back. That is zinnias, and can you see the apple? This plant out here in the front, this is cleome. Lots of them here. So this cleome is a new to me plant this year, and oh my god, what a stunning beauty. It doesn't smell that great. Has kind of like a pungent, not so good smell, but the blooms, I tell you, they start blooming at about maybe like 2 feet height, and then they just take off and grow. This is almost 4 feet now, and it's a little bit thorny some places, some sides, but again, it's a beautiful flower. It keeps going and going. So the buds start out like this, tiny. That's maybe this stage of the plant of this bud, the big bud, and it just the shoot keeps growing up and up. There are blooms all the way from here till it will keep blooming again for a few more weeks, I think. See that, all those buds here? It gets taller by the day, so, and it keeps putting out more buds. That is the beauty of this one. Absolutely must have. It's an annual here in Zone 6B, but I frankly, if it's giving me this many flowers for this many days, actually months now, I'm all for it. And this comes in quite a wide variety of colors. I think I have white in this one. This is a nice pretty pink and purple. More dahlias out here. Can you see them? And this is Coreopsis, a pretty maroon color. And I have an Aster here. I think it's a I don't know actually. It might not be an Aster. I don't know what all I planted here. The leaves do have spots like the other Aster, so I'm not sure. Let's wait and see what that is. This is a globe amaranth, and here, can you see the red hot poker? This is one of my divisions. It's actually yellow. And this is a daisy that I got from a friend. Just like the dahlias I showed you earlier. I have quite a few flowers on this one today. More dahlias. Cleome. See that? More dahlias. the apple. These are all zinnias. Before I come to the apple, I'll show you something else. This is a Dianthus. It's a peach Dianthus, and I think it's not doing well in the heat. Hopefully it'll come back. I have another red hot poker. You can see those grassy kind of leaves out here. Moss rose that I winter sowed. Small Baptisia seedling from winter sowing. Phlox, a perennial phlox. This is a salvia that I divided and it's doing absolutely great. More winter sown carnations. So the story of my apple. So I planted this apple in fall last year, and I did not know about the cedar rust that apples kind of get. And when I came to know in spring, I was like, I'm not sure that we have this in this area because none of my friends seems to have mentioned it who grew apples. So I went with it, and you know what? We had a very bad case of cedar rust. I had about 20 fruit in there, I think, which I had to remove along with all the leaves. I actually removed the leaves twice because there was way too many rust spots on them. I kept 2 apples. I don't know whether they're good, just so for my peace of mind that something grew on this year. But next spring I'm going to be on time. Hopefully I can save these. So more zinnias, as you can see. Here's a view of all the flowers from the side. I have a ton of globe amaranth out here. There is a red hot poker down there. This is a Gora. Oh, this set of bricks, I have a plan to add like a sculpture up there. That's why it's there. Lilies. So I had planned 3 or 4 lily bulbs out here, but like I said, the bunnies would come and eat them up, so they never took off. This is a yarrow. It's actually a very, very pretty dark pink. I told you this year dark pink fuchsia is my color. And then it turns to this light pink and then dies off. Like it's been like really, I need to save these seeds. Yep, I need to save them. So it's been very, very hot here. I think these plants have taken a hit. The white Gora, I absolutely love this plant. It's like the way it dances in the wind. I don't think any other plant can replicate that beauty and that grace. Oh, down here, the one that looks like daisies are actually chamomile. See those? Lots of blooms. I love them. And the foliage is actually very, very feathery and wispy, and again another pretty addition. Moss rose that I winter sowed, and here is Allison. Oh my god. Initially when they came up, I was not really sure. I didn't actually know they would multiply this much. This is going to be a mainstay in my garden coming years. It's an annual, but if I just sowed a couple of seeds and they just took off. It was like a tiny bunch. They might have tripled in size in like a month or so, and they keep growing more and more. So I absolutely love them. Love Allison any day. I hear there's actually a pink version on it of this, so hopefully maybe next year I'll get that too. And it's a huge pollinator magnet. I see insects on it every single time. These grassy leaves that you see like in the middle of this Allison is Crocosmia. I planted a few combs and I think only 3 or 4 came up. I see one here, I see another one here too. And I know there are like a couple in different other places. This is a daisy that I winter sowed and it's doing pretty good. Hopefully it'll give me some flowers this year. Now, Liatris. Wow, I love. Again, this is a huge bee magnet. I love this flower. I love the color. Again, this is the first time I'm growing it and I'm like sold. I'm definitely going to have more next year. In here, we have a Penstemon. Can you see the bloom of the Penstemon? That's the Penstemon bloom. Again, this is from the division. More zinnias. This is a Hollyhock. I planted the tuber. That seemed to be doing well, but then Hollyhocks are perennials. So hopefully by next year, I'll see blooms. So this is a foxglove. I winter sowed these. Again, foxgloves are also perennials, so I'll see the bloom only next year. More hollyhock in the back. Actually, here in this spot, there was a lupine. It's a tutti frutti lupine, and the colors were like fabulous on those. Again, I bought the plant and I planted it, I'm hoping that it'll come back again at least one more year. More dahlias, and that is a bee balm, and more coreopsis. Lots and lots of globe amaranth. This is a black-eyed Susan that I transplanted from the front. Oh wow, look at the amount of Japanese beetles on these. I need to come back and get them. Oh my god. But they're on the marigolds, actually, which is fine as long as they don't touch my good plants. But these marigolds, I didn't expect them to be this big. They should have been in the back of the bed, but more zinnias in every color, and I do see some Japanese beetles on there too. So more out here, more here. There's actually a very pretty red in here. See that? Yellow. It's literally every color possible. This is perennial phlox. I have more alyssum in the back. And tomatoes. These are the free tomatoes that I got from the compost. Dahlias, another alyssum patch. And can you see something here hiding? This is a peony. I think it's a sorbet peony. So I found these on clearance in late spring, okay? And I love peonies so much. And I thought, you know, why not? It's $4, I think, at that time. Let me try my hand at planting these. So I think I planted two. One is a sorbet peony and the other one I forget. But only this one came up. And, you know, as you can see, it's tiny. Hopefully, since it managed to come up this year, it might come up, you know, with more vigor next year. So the close-up of the alyssum patch. Look at those. And here I have a lavender, Spanish lavender. It's a bit more stronger smelling and pungent than the English and French lavenders. But I love the bloom. They bloom profusely. I just deadheaded that. And they've doubled in size. This actually I planted this pot in May, and I've more than doubled, I would say. It's a very nice clump. I hope this is supposedly hardy for zone 6B. Actually all of zone 6, I think. So hopefully this will come back next year. I've not had very good luck with English and French lavenders before, but none of my plants have actually taken off this well. The piece of driftwood that we collected from the beach. More Liatris and tomatoes. I think that is a daisy. I'm not sure. Oh, somebody bumped up. I think I should bring this inside. Or maybe can arrest it. That is a carnation. I think the branch broke off. You got Mintosoon carnations. Here is a clump of chamomile. I absolutely love these flowers. Look at them. Foxglove, cornflower, salvia. I think there's more foxglove. There are, again, all the foxgloves are Wintersoon. I love this cornflower, the white one. Penstemon. This bush has taken off beautifully. I've got like tons and tons of blooms from them. Okay. This is a black-eyed Susan. More zinnias. I think this is what my pink zinnia club. Again, I just mixed up some seed packets and sowed them. Not sure why this area has a profusion of pink, whereas everywhere other places it's like a mixed bunch. There is a hollyhock in the back there. This is our magnolia tree. Let's see the garden from here. And there is a peony in the pack. This is my white peony, and then below are Baptisia seedlings from Wintersoon. This is my cleome, white, and the pink one. Here is a look from this side. It's like the pink section. This is anemone. I forget the exact name. So I planted two of them, and the other one died on me. It is in a different spot though. This one keeps, I don't know, it should be blooming by I think in late summer or fall. But yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that will come back and have some blooms. This is a Baptisia seedling again. This is not Wintersown. This is direct sown. I just sowed it and it came up, but it doesn't seem to be taking off that well. Hopefully some of my Baptisia will stay. I think this is the yellow color. Like a friend gave me the seeds and I sowed them. It will take a few years, I think, from what I heard, 3 to 4 years definitely for the Wintersown perennials to bloom, especially Baptisia. A perennial phlox. Let's make our way to the other side. So here, this is a lace cap hydrangea. I planted this in like scorching heat, and this was not mulched, so it took bad hit and has quite a bit of sunburn. But I think hydrangeas are good plants and are very good about bouncing back. I think it's coming back. There's a tiny bloom there, and of course this bed is clay, mainly clay, and I did not really do much in terms of you know, tilling it or anything. All I added was a layer of compost. Winter zone foxglove, marigolds, more alyssum. I think it's almost dying out, that patch. Foxglove. This is a red cornflower. And here, I think all my blooms are gone, but this is a poppy. And I've been to sowed quite a bit of poppies this year, but only this one took off. And it has a very light pink, almost like a baby pink blooms. The blooms were like small, maybe an inch in diameter, but I was so happy to have at least one bloom of all from all those poppy seed packets. I think I had like sown 4 and I got 2 plants out of it. So it's okay, something's better than nothing, you know. So in the back, can you see the plant that's dried? That's a delphinium. It was a like most delphiniums, it's a blue color, but that one kept blooming for more than a month, I think. Absolute beauty, absolute beauty. I need to save the seeds, and I think I winter sowed some seeds, and only a few came up. See that? Never took off. This is a camellia. It's a fall blooming one. Again, this is one of the plants that took its own sweet time to come back in spring. Hopefully it survives and I have some blooms this fall. Free tomato, lots of sunflower. Let me see if I can see the blue. This one here and this one here. More zinnias, and I have okra here. And this is my cherry tree. Let me step back so you can see. This is a speedwell, and this has been flowering since spring. I'm, again, one of those plants that give you the most bang for your buck. Zinnias, 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 more zinnias out here. This is a sage, more globe amaranth. I mean, these are just direct sown seeds. I have like a few plants last year and I saved the seeds and I just sprinkled them all over, and they are very good about germinating. So, and I love the color. I love the color and the papery texture of the flower. More okra. This is my hardy banana. Seems to be doing well now. Another zinnia patch. Can you see it? And in the way, all the way back, is a teddy bear sunflower. Look at this bunch. And I have more here. See that? I love this. I love this. Watermelon. In the back, I think I have a couple. More chamomile, Analysis Touch, and Penstemon, Globe Amaranth, chamomile. So, I mean, these zinnias are kind of hiding those. I just direct sow the zinnia seeds out here, and I think the birds kind of move things around. So they ended up coming to the front, and all these plants are hidden in the back. So hopefully next year I can, I'll have a better idea of where to put things. The sunflowers, I have another whole line of sunflowers waiting to grow actually. So these 2 took off really well, and the other seeds I think the birds ate. So I ended up sowing some more later in the season. That's why they're small. More okra. This is lemongrass. I actually sprouted them from leftovers that I bought for cooking from the grocery store. They're very easy to grow from, you know, the root. I will post a video of how to grow these, and actually many of the plants are very easy to root in water first, as long as you have a small stem. So I will post a video on how to do that, or do a separate blog post. More okra on the back, free tomatoes, marigolds, and this hanging planter, birdcage planter, has petunias and winkle. I have a post on my blog on how to make a hanging planter from a birdcage, so you can check that out. I actually will post the link below the video too. More tomatoes. This is another Penstemon patch that got stepped on by the landscapers when they mulched the bed. And my clematis, look at that. This is a Rebecca clematis. It's type 2 clematis, and it keeps on flowering on new growth. See that? You can see more buds. And my first time growing clematis, and I'm in love so much that I'm going to get more next year. This is my pumpkin, actually not pumpkin, it's a squash called Kabocha Squash, and I'm getting a lot of male flowers, but the female flowers does not seem to be sticking. They just fall off before even opening, so not sure. I have my Scarlet Hara peony here in the middle of that. So this is another Kabocha. So I'll show you what I was talking about the female blooms dying on themselves. See that? They're not even opening up. You know, I can hand pollinate if they open up, but they're not even doing that. So this is an phlox, I think, that blooms only in spring, but it's a perennial one. So more tomatoes on here. I think I have an Aster down there below. And dill. Look at those dill flowers. Again, I haven't used dill much in the cooking, but I'm so in love with the flowers, and I'm sure I'll grow them more. Mainly, even if I don't use it that much for cooking, just the flowers. Look at those. They're such a beauty. It's like small stars. I have sunflowers all along the fence, and more cleone. That is a winter sown daisy. I don't know what's up with that globe amaranth. Doesn't look that healthy. There is some butterfly weed over there. These are phone flowers that I winter sowed. More chamomile and globe amaranth and sunflowers. I think I have a bloom here. So that is my backyard garden. Hope you had a good time, enjoyed it, and let me take you back to my teddy bear sunflowers. I love them. And my zinnia patch. There you go. There. And I love the shot of that birdcage planter in the back.